Lecture 31, Supervised versus Unsupervised learning. Supervised learning is when you are performing data mining. The supporting information that helps in the data mining process is also available.
31.1 Data structure in data
mining. The data structure is a way of organizing information. There are two types of matrix, the data matrix and the similarity matrix. The data matrix is a way of storing information in a table or database. This table is used as input for a data mining algorithm. The number of records larger than the number columns attributes. The contents of each cell can be picked by using two indices I and j. The similarity matrix is a way to measure the similarities between different rows in a data matrix. To make the similarity matrix, each row is compared with every other row and the similarity value is recorded in the matrix. Similarity matrix डेटा मैट्रिक्स में मुख्तलिफ राउज के दरमियान सिमिलैरिटीज को मेजर करने का एक तरीका है. सिमिलैरिटी मैट्रिक्स बनाने के लिए हर रो का हर दूसरी रो से मुवाजना किया जाता है और सिमिलैरिटी वैल्यूज को मैट्रिक्स में रिकॉर्ड किया जाता है. इसके रिजल्ट में आने वाला मैट्रिक्स एक सिक्योर होगा. न सिर्फ ये मैट्रिक्स सिक्योर मैट्रिक्स होगी बल्कि ये सिमेट्रिक मैट्रिक्स भी होगी और इसकी सारी डायगोनल की वैल्यूज एक होंगी. अगर आपकी डेटा मैट्रिक्स में n राउज थी और m कॉलम्स थे तो आपकी जो सिमिलैरिटी मैट्रिक्स है उसमें n राउज और m कॉलम्स होंगे. सिमिलैरिटी मैट्रिक्स को कंप्यूट करने की टाइम कम्प्लेक्सिटी n2 सितारा m इसकी टाइम कम्प्लेक्सिटी होगी. 31.2 Main types of data mining. There are two main types of data mining techniques: supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Bayesian classification is a method where you look at a dataset and determine the probability of different items appearing in the data. Based on this probability, you create a hypothesis and then find the likelihood of an item. Now unsupervised learning where you don't know the number of clusters and obviously no idea about their attributes too. जब आपको ये नहीं पता होता कि नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस कितनी है, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आप किसी तरह से भी गाइड नहीं कर रहे डेटा माइनिंग टेक्निक को कि उसने डेटा माइनिंग कैसे करनी है. जो प्योर अनसुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग है उसमें ह्यूमन साइड से कोई इनपुट नहीं जाती. हाँ, अगर उसे डेटा के बारे में कोई मालूमात चाहिए तो एल्गोरिदम इसे खुद ब खुद एनालाइज करके एट्रिब्यूट्स को इस्तेमाल कर सकता है. There are two main types of unsupervised clustering. 1. One-way clustering means that when you clustered a data matrix, you used all the attributes. In this technique a similarity matrix is built, and then clustering is performed on rows. 2. Two-way clustering. By clustering here rows and columns are simultaneously clustered. No any sort of similarity or dissimilarity matrix is built. Biclustering gives a local view of your data set while one-way clustering gives a global view. 31.3 Clustering. Min marks distance when clusters are formed in unsupervised clustering. The points having smaller intra-cluster, within cluster, distances should fall in a single cluster and in the between clustering distance between any two clusters should be greater. जब अनसुपरवाइज्ड क्लस्टरिंग में क्लस्टर्स बनते हैं और उन पॉइंट्स में थोड़ा डिस्टेंस होता है जो कि एक क्लस्टर में पाए जाते हैं और इंटर क्लस्टरिंग में दो क्लस्टर्स के दरमियान डिस्टेंस बड़ा होना चाहिए. When we talk about distance in clustering, it means that we need a way to measure how similar or different two records are from each other. Unsupervised clustering. Records that are close to each other within a cluster should belong in the same cluster and the distance between two different clusters should be large. As people get older, their salaries generally increase, but when they retire, their salaries decrease. There are some outliers people, which are young people with high salaries. कुछ ऐसे लोग भी होते हैं जिनकी उम्र कम होती है लेकिन उनकी सैलरी बहुत ज्यादा होती है, ऐसे लोगों को आउटलायर्स कहते हैं। This might be because they are working in their family's business.
31.4 How clustering
Works on some notion of natural association in records, data, i.e. some records are more similar to each other than the others. There has to be the notion of association between records. There has to be a distance matrix and you have to map that on the association. आपको डिस्टेंस मैट्रिक्स को किसी तरह एसोसिएशन के साथ माप के करना है। You have to take these numeric and non-numeric attributes. You have to make an association measure which will associate records. The values in the matrix will be between -1 and -1. For opposite items, when one is rising and the other is falling, the correlation will be -1. For those items that fall and rise simultaneously, at the same time, there will be a correlation of -1, and if no correlation then 0. For the sake of simplicity, it is represented as a binary matrix, i.e. if correlation greater than 0.5, it will be represented with 1. If correlation less than 0.5, it will be represented with 0. Utilize some graph properties for performing clustering. We can use two techniques. One is the graph partitioning. Another technique called clique detection. White points represent missing values. Black points represent noise. Genetic algorithms do not work well in the presence of noise. 31.5 Classification, RAG, that is boxed. It may also be called as a pigeonhole box. Each box in the RAG represents a class by looking at the data properties of any picked document. The classification process will know the box class of the document that it belongs to. The classification can be used for customer segmentation, to detect fraudulent transactions and issues related to money laundering, and the list goes on. Classification process actually works. First of the available data set is divided into two parts. One is called test set and the other is called the training set. Accuracy or confidence level बराबर matches total number of matches, assigning priorities to data sets in the context of data quality. Females spend more time during shopping than male customers. The accuracy of a model is 2/3 %. In other words, we can say the confidence level of a classification model is 66%. There is a record with name Fedus, time spent 15 minute and one item purchased. We predict the gender by using a classification model, and as per model the customer is assigned F15/1 बराबर 15, which is greater than 6. 31.6 Clustering versus cluster detection. First you cluster your data and then detect clusters in the clustered data. दो चीजों के बारे में बात हो रही है यहाँ। एक ये कि हमारे पास डेटा है और हमने उस डेटा को क्लस्टर कर लिया। जब हम डेटा को क्लस्टर कर लेते हैं उसके बाद आपने उसमें से क्लस्टर को डिटेक्ट करते हैं। Until and unless clustering is performed, cluster detection is useless. There is a misconception among new data miners that cluster detection and clustering both are the same. They think that using k-means is everything. 31.7 The k-means clustering, k-means algorithm is implemented in 4 steps. Step 1. In the first step you assign k-clusters in your dataset. Step 2. The second step is to compute the seed points or centroids or mean point of your defined clusters, i.e. which value is a most representative value of all the points in a cluster. Step 3. In this step you take the distance of each point from the cluster centroids or means point. Step 4. You may repeat the above steps, i.e. you find the means of newly formed clusters, then find the distances of all points from those means, and clusters are reconfigured. About k-means. 1. K-means is a fairly fast technique and normally when terminates, then clusters formed are fairly good.